Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday afternoon, evening, Thursday morning, depending where you are in the world. I am literally sliding in today, so bear with me here 1 minute as we get this all out on all the social media. Literally was running way behind today. Story of my life this last few Wednesdays, but we're here. We're going live. Things are good. We're going to talk cord cutting. We're going to help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. Help you hopefully break free from the high cost of cable and be able to enjoy or still enjoy all the content you want to watch. So if you have a question, have a comment, leave it in the comments on our YouTube page. If you've seen this on Facebook or on Twitter, leave the comments on our YouTube stream. That's where I'll be watching. Hello, Teresa. If you're watching this on replay, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, we are live answering your cord cutting related questions. All right, let me finish putting this on Facebook. Richard says you have a tornado watch. Well, I hope it's all okay. We're supposed to get those storms late tonight until tomorrow. So, it looks like I'm all the way from Texas all the way up to the Canadian border. These storms are rolling across the great country of the United States. All right. Publish. All right. Bar, Chris, RG, Raymond, Richard, Kenneth, Craig. Good to see you all here. All right. One more place to share this. I'm going to be on top of it. I was actually running late because I don't know if you can see it, but we have a new, let me see if I can, yep. We have a new microphone with one of the mounted microphone stands, which means that hopefully if I bump the microphone, it won't have the sound continuing down through the microphone. So hopefully that helps you. Kevin, what part of Texas are you in? Rosie, hello. Justin, Ace, good to see you all here. Uh-oh, reported posts on Facebook group. Let's see what these are. But let's talk all things cord cutting. If you have a question, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. Otherwise, join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. All right. Got a spammer in the Facebook group. I just took care of them. They're gone. So, Brooklyn, Tim, my internet connection keeps lagging or disconnecting. Do you think a new router would help this? Teresa, yes. If you have eliminated your internet service provider, I would say a new router. They will go bad, and newer routers are much more effective and efficient in that. So I would say yes. If you eliminate all other things and you're still getting disconnected from the internet, if you're like, especially if Wi-Fi is being disconnected but not Ethernet, I would say getting a new router would be a good one. What brands I'll recommend? TP-Link's pretty good and Netgear's pretty good. Richard says he just paid his last Dish Network bill. Congratulations, Richard. Welcome to the cord cutting family. It's good to have you here. Pete, I think yes, RG. So RG asked about PlayStation Vue. He says his local ABC was taken off yesterday and went to on demand. That's not a mistake. That actually deliberately happened. PlayStation Vue and Sinclair have broken up, I guess we'll call them. And, you know, could be Sinclair's fault, could be PlayStation Vue's fault, we don't know. What we do know is PlayStation Vue only gave a 1 hour notice that they were about to take off and delete everybody's DVRs. Usually when there's contract disputes between cable providers and a network, you usually get a good amount of notice that the station's going to go offline. And this time, Sony did not do that. So I gotta blame Sony for not giving early warning. Even if it was like, hey, we're currently in negotiations with Sinclair, they're not going well, very real possibility, you know, cable does that all the time. So I think it's a mistake for PlayStation Vue. This probably drops PlayStation Vue from the second, maybe third, depending on who you talk to, most number of locals, to the third or fourth place. They're probably behind PlayStation or Fubo TV even now. They've lost Tribune and Sinclair locals, and that's a lot of locals to vanish. So keep that in mind. But yeah, it's not a mistake. It's an issue. I'll have a post more with guides, but an antenna may be your best one out there to look at first if possible. My question is the new TCL Roku Smart Speaker Bar coming out. Do you think it will work with TCL S Series? I believe it will work with the S Series. I would assume all 2017 from what I remember it will work with. The TCL soundbar is coming out in the fall 2018. Hey Luke, Rick again. What streaming service has the most number of locals? Well, that's confusing because what the service with the most locals may not be the one that has the locals in your area. For instance, YouTube TV may have locals in your area, but Hulu does not. Hulu has the most number of locals. It could be the other way. Hulu may have all of them, but YouTube TV may be missing one or two in your market. The ones you want to look at are DirecTV Now, Hulu, PlayStation Vue, which you had but you lost your local, YouTube TV, and Fubo TV is actually pushing really hard on that number of locals there. So keep that in mind. Top 3 indoor, top 3 outdoor antennas. Well, DJ, I'm not going to recommend specific antennas. I will recommend specific manufacturers. Mohu, RCA. Some people like WineGuard. I think the Mohu flat antennas are superior now than the WineGuards. The new flat Ultra line, that Ultra 65-mile flat antenna can't be beat. But Antenna Direct. So Mohu, RCA, and Antenna Direct are the 3 brands for both indoor and outdoor I would recommend. I would like to connect an outside antenna. Oh, the question moved. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Look, I'd like to connect an outside antenna. Would those routers work for that? Teresa, you talking about outside internet antenna or outside OTA antenna? Let me know a little bit more there, Teresa. When you say router, I'm thinking internet. Are you getting wireless internet? Let me know. I want to make sure I give you the right answer. Who has the most quality and reliable stream? That really depends a lot on you. I think they're all about the same. They all have about the same number of issues. When it comes down to quality and reliability of the stream, a lot of it comes down to your home Wi-Fi network. They're all going to have hiccups here and there. But if you have a strong Wi-Fi network and a strong internet signal, that'll take care of a lot. A lot of people say, well, I have a strong Wi-Fi, but is your internet strong? If you say you're paying for 50 down, are you really getting that 50 down, for example? I would recommend checking into that, but they all have pretty much the same. I can get you 100 people who would say they love a service and 100 people who would say they will hate that service. It's just the reality of it right now. No, just getting Wi-Fi outside to have internet. Okay, Teresa wants to have internet outside her home. A couple options is for instance, if you want your Wi-Fi in the backyard. I know I like to sit in the back patio on a nice summer afternoon with the breeze and surf the web on my tablet or phone or laptop. The first thing you do is maybe move your Wi-Fi router to closer to the thing. But Netgear and TP-Link, etc. are all going to work. If the range is the same, they're all going to work. My recommendation would be to try to move it closer. Maybe get a mesh system like the Google Wi-Fi Mesh and have put a router kind of inside your home, but just by the back patio, for example, or wherever you want that internet. So that would be my recommendation. I am a big fan of the Netgear Nighthawk line. That's what I've had good experience with. I would say they'll hear a lot of good things about the Google Wi-Fi Mesh network. Brant, Brant, or however you say it, my apologies. When you say looking for the best ISP, looking to deliver an OTT to service, when you say that, are you like looking for an internet service, or are you an ISP looking to team up with an internet service? Let me know. I heard one provider. Kevin says, I've heard that Comcast is cutting people off or not giving free upgrades to cord cutters. Yeah, so Comcast in Houston is doing a trial where if you're a cable TV subscriber, they're going up your internet speed. The truth is it's not going to slow down cord cutting, because with the speeds, it starts at 60, goes up to like 250. 60 down is more than enough to be a cord cutter. That'll give you like 12 HD Netflix streams at one time. It's more than enough. Would it be nice to get faster speed for the same amount? Yeah. But you're still saving a ton of money. You're going to be able to stream all you want with the same. And Houston and other markets like that are going to be some of the earliest markets to get 5G. I think I've heard fiber is trying to roll out in Houston, but don't count me on that. Competition is what really going to squash this. When 5G is coming out with fiber speeds, DSL, AT&T has been rolling out fiber gigabyte speeds. CenturyLink's doing that. I have DSL gigabyte fiber speeds here in my neighborhood is actually faster than the cable provider. Once more products like that come out, expect to see more and more. So I don't think it's a threat to cord cutting at all. It's more of a money grab. They want you to pay more money for it. And here's the thing about cord cutting. You don't need the fastest internet speed out there to be a cord cutter. A lot of times when you try to cancel cable, they'll say, oh, you're canceling cable. You probably should upgrade your internet. Don't do it. If you have problems later, then go upgrade your internet. But anything really over 20 down is more than enough for most people to become a cord cutter. Once you get over 100 down, you're not going to see a return on streaming. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but if you're just looking to stream Netflix, after 100 down, you're not going to see any return on that, any benefit off being faster. So just keep that in mind. Duff, any news on if anyone's making 3.0 tuner boxes? A couple companies are, but they're not publicly selling them in the US. What was it? Is it LG or is it Samsung that's partnering with the Phoenix Test Group, and they're providing boxes in the Phoenix area? They're not being sold publicly. They're just making these test boxes and giving them to testers in the Phoenix market. But Antennas Direct and others have announced that they're working on 3.0 boxes, and they intend to do it. Some of them will be boxes, physical boxes. Other companies are talking about making sticks, where they take an HDMI stick, like a Roku stick size device, and on one end is an HDMI port, and the other is a coaxial cable. You just plug your antenna into that, plug it into the HDMI port on your TV, and you're good to go. You may have a USB dangle power thing you plug into your TV or into your wall, similar to what you have with a Roku, a Fire TV, or Chromecast type stick. So that's one option that I've been batting around. We'll wait and see. A lot of companies are just kind of waiting for the final Phoenix test to happen, and Dallas test too. And we'll probably know in the next few months of how those are going, and then we'll be able to see companies probably make product announcements this fall into the winter. Sounds like 2019 is the target date to start looking at flipping stations over to 3.0. And remember, when 3.0 over-the-air TV rolls out, the current 1.0 standard needs to continue for 5 years in that market. So even if next year they roll out 3.0, they're going to continue to roll out 5.0, or excuse me, 1.0 for 5 more years. Yes, so New York is trying to pass a net neutrality bill that would ban data caps. It's the proposal. I'm going to wait and see what gets through committee if that happens. It'll be interesting. Is that really a net, that's really a non-net neutrality issue when you get down to it. Here's one of the confusing things happening around net neutrality. Right now, it's like everything that's negative about internet is being called net neutrality, and it really doesn't have a lot to do with net neutrality, because net neutrality is legally first in place. For instance, when Comcast announced they were going to increase the speed for cable TV subscribers for free, but charge cord cutters if they want faster speed, that's not a net neutrality issue. Net neutrality would not have prevented that, and it's, even though net neutrality is still in place, it doesn't prevent that. Now, data caps, again, under net neutrality, data caps existed, but that's one topic there. So calling that a net neutrality bill is a little confusing, but yeah, it's not a bad idea. At the same time, it is, where do we have free markets and not question? So I think a lot of people's opinions are going to fall in line. Do you want government regulating it or not? And that's kind of where the whole net neutrality bill has been. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. I'm sure that's going to get challenged in court. It will be a very interesting argument. Like I said, it's not really a net neutrality when it comes to data caps. Data caps exist under net neutrality. Would a law that bans data caps hold up in court? Well, we will wait and see what happens. I think that'll be very interesting because it's a very different from prioritizing content to having a limit. Because then you could say, well, what about cell phone plans that have limits on how many minutes you can call? Is that legal, for example? And you can go from there. Do you think Roku will ever natively broadcast Impact 2 feeds like the Apple TV or NVIDIA Shield for OVA or TV? Kurt, it's possible. Now, the truth is, they don't need to. For instance, Tableau, Channel Master, all these other devices stream over their TV to your Roku without issue. So it's very possible to do it. Impact 2 is a proprietary standard you have to pay a license for, and I believe that's probably why Roku isn't supporting it, because they don't want to pay for it. It's hard to sell a device starting at $30 and pay everybody what they want, just to be honest with you. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there with that. Luke, you think that we will see a 3.0 tuner on the market for laptops or for the dish hopper? Yeah, we will probably see 3.0 tuners. They will probably lag slightly behind the boxes that plug into your TVs, because USB tuners are a relatively niche market versus a box or a HDMI stick that plugs into your TV. It's just kind of the reality of the situation. People are going to make products for what sells in mass first. But we will get 3.0 USB tuners at some point. Hello from Austin, Texas, Bill. Hey, since we have a ton of people here, July 21st, put it on the calendar. We will be teaching a class. I will be teaching a class at a library up in Dallas. Details to come. And that it's a Saturday in the afternoon, evening time frame. We'll probably be doing a meetup. Anybody interested in meeting up in Dallas for maybe some coffee place or whatever? Talk some cord cutting. Dallas is our #1 market when it comes to readers. I'm not sure we have any Dallas people here. Anybody here from Dallas right now? Or anybody in Texas interested? Let me know. We'll love your opinion. Is it better to have semi-slow broadband or satellite internet? Broadband. Now, there's new satellite internet coming, which is a low-altitude satellite internet, which is going to remove a lot of the issues from current satellite internet. The issue with that being, with current satellite internet, is the bandwidth. So, uploading is often very slow. And you often have very strict data caps because everybody is using one satellite. With the new low-level satellites, you're going to be able to have multiple satellites out there across the United States at much lower levels. So the latency is going to be a lot lower, and it'll remove a lot of the data caps. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But for now, for streaming, you're going to be hitting your data caps on many satellite programs. Remember, they have daily and monthly data caps. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, if possible, broadband will always be the best solution. Luke, will the T-Mobile merger get past regulators because they are making mobile ISPs is now 3? The T-Mobile one will be an interesting one merger. The question will be will T-Mobile and Sprint be able to meet the requirements? It's very likely that the Department of Justice, for all the talk of how pro-business the current administration is, the Department of Justice has been very strict with mergers recently. Sinclair Tribune, they've been just very strict on them. AT&T, Time Warner, and others have all been under strict regulatory review. The question now is, will T-Mobile and Sprint? There is an argument to be made that right now that the market's a lot different than it was a few years ago. Straight Talk, all these TracFone, all these other resellers, while they may be reselling Sprint, Straight Talk does Verizon and other AT&T also and others, that they're basically another major competitor in the market. T-Mobile and Sprint make a lot less money from those deals, and in case of many of them which use AT&T and Verizon, they don't make any money. So I think it's more likely than it was 2 years ago. So just keep that in mind. Will it happen? I don't know. I just think it's more likely now than 2 years ago. It's really going to come down to, like, Sinclair's coming out and saying that they intend to sell off a bunch of stations to minority owners to make the Department of Justice happy. Maybe that'll help it with it. All right, why do it in Dallas? Well, there's a library that wants us to come up and teach a class in Dallas that day, and Dallas is our #1 market with our most number of readers in it. So that's a number. Those are the two main reasons why we picked Dallas to hold the meetup on July 21st. All right. Mergers aren't good for the consumer, ultimately. Yes and no. Mergers aren't a bad thing. For example, Sirius XM Radio would not exist if there wasn't a merger. Sirius and XM were competitors for a long time. It was just not mathematically feasible for both of them to be in business. Either both were going to go under, or one was going to they're going to merge and have one. With internet streaming services and terrestrial radio, that did not, them merging did not hurt anything. I predict at some point, Dish and DirecTV, they're probably not going to merge, but I would suspect that one or the other is going to sell their satellite business to the other. At some point down the road, both Dish and DirecTV now cannot survive. There's not going to be enough businesses. Satellite internet is bleeding, satellite TV is bleeding customers far faster than cable TV ever is. So somewhere, probably not this year, probably not next year, but somewhere down the lines, Dish and DirecTV now are going to both look at each other and say, hey, this isn't financially feasible for both of us to do it. There's still a good business out there for rural markets and others that may want this. RV owners love satellite dishes because when they travel, they got internet or TV through them. But as a standalone business in competition, there's not enough. But with cord cutting and over-the-air TV and cable and 5G and etc., it may make sense for Dish and DirecTV now to merge. So mergers aren't always bad, but some can be. Just keep that in mind. And you heard it here. I predict sometime in the next 5 to 10 years, Dish or DirecTV now is going to sell their satellite business to the other, and there's just going to be one major satellite TV provider in the United States. Luke, when should I see the Android 8.0 update on my MyBox? They seem to be slowly rolling it out, so every few days check for an update. I heard rumors that Verizon was looking at Comcast and Charter Spectrum. Yes, Verizon has been reportedly, by many sources, very credible, in talks with companies like Comcast and Charter about buying them up. Yeah, very similar to what AT&T did with DirecTV. I'm kind of surprised Verizon didn't look at buying Dish, but maybe they decided that wasn't a good fit for them. But yeah, Verizon has, is trying to keep up with their main competitor, AT&T. AT&T is getting a good advantage by having DirecTV to link to their AT&T products, where they can say if you have an AT&T wireless, you can get a discount on DirecTV or DirecTV Now. Verizon would like to do the same, so they are looking at doing it. At a possible merger. Though it's been some time since we've heard anything on Verizon buying one of those or merging with them. So maybe those deals all fell apart. We'll wait and see. Does NBC own Comcast? No, other way around, Paul. Comcast owns NBC. NBC Universal sold to Comcast a few years ago. Comcast, through that deal, Comcast owns part of Hulu. And it's soon to be pretty much a Hulu and Comcast service Disney and Comcast service, with Disney owning a majority share. So we'll see. Luke, is it possible to sideload APKs to a Roku Ultra? No, because Rokus don't run Android. APK is just a file format in Android. So Android and Fire TV are both Android devices. They can run Android ones. Roku does have an unofficial channel store, but really, all the legal ones, there's really no information or no reason to get APK. All the legal services are available through the Roku channel store. Luke, do you have any information about the Disney free app that you reported on at Scorecards News? Nothing new that we haven't reported. Disney is coming out with a free ad-supported streaming service that's going to bring a lot of new content to the web, including some classics like they're bringing back the Mickey Mouse Club. Thank you. So there's a lot of excitement. This summer is when it's supposed to run out or be released. We'll have to wait and learn more about it. All right, if I haven't answered your question, please re-ask it. I'm gonna quickly play an app. It supports the site. Let me do that real quick. Takes about 30 seconds. Some will see this, some won't. But hey, for everybody who's not seeing the ad real quick, don't forget we have a new app on iOS and Android and Amazon Fire tablets. Link in the show notes to that. If you want to help Court Cars News, go leave us a 5-star review on the iTunes, on Amazon, on Google Play. We would really appreciate a honest 5-star review. So keep that in mind. All right, so welcome back everybody who saw that ad. Thank you for watching that because it supports my family. How many streams can be recorded with DirecTV now? I'm not sure if there is a cap. I haven't experienced it, but I don't record a lot of things on it. I'm assuming there's only 2 streams, so there's at least 2 DVR slots to record at the same moment. I've never seen a message pop up tell me you're recording too many shows at once, so keep that in mind. Justin says, I read somewhere that Amazon Prime is going to offer a discount for people who have Medicare. Do you know if that's true? Yes, Amazon does offer a $5.99, something like that, a month Amazon Prime to people on Medicare or EBT. And you have to prove it. You have to send them some documentation. It's really easy. You scan it or fax it to them, and then they will give you the discount. If you just type in Amazon Prime Medicare discount into Google, it'll come right up. Luke, is there a difference between Pure TV and Android OS TV? Android Pure TV, I'm not sure what Android Pure TV is. Android TV is the thing. Android OS TV is typically, when people say that, it's just an Android phone or tablet version put on an Android box and sold as a streaming player. Medicaid, not Medicare. Okay, Medicaid is what it is. Sorry. Kennedy says he recorded at least 3 shows at the same time with DirecTV Now, so he can record at least 3 shows at the same moment with DirecTV Now. Hey, I see there's a ton of new names here I don't recognize. Welcome every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do our best to answer your cord cutting related questions. We have all kinds of other shows, a weekly recap show on all things cord cutting, reviews, how-to guides here. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification so you never miss out. But also in the show notes, you find a link to CourtCarsNews.com. Every day, 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10 or more stories in a day, all about the world of cord cutting, streaming media, and more. So keep that in mind. Check it out. Sign up for our Facebook groups or newsletters. We would really appreciate your support. All right, hey, back to the questions. Any update on DirecTV Now 2.0 for Roku? No. Roku, DirecTV Now for some reason just brings out the Roku support a little later. The beta is out. It does have full DVR now. It is one version behind, but I don't know, it seems to work great on Roku. I have it here in my home and it works really well. When's 2.0 coming? We don't know. Though DirecTV Now is doing a system upgrade today. We posted about that over at Court Cars News. There's a full story there. All right. I forgot to put up the little banner on top of the site. There we go. Fix that. For those of us who don't get into the DirecTV Now beta, any news on if it's going live for everybody? They're still saying by the end of spring 2018, so sometime in June or earlier, it should be out. It feels like they're getting very close. It feels like they're trying to put some spit and polish on it. Be interesting to see what they do tonight with the backend upgrade. They seem to be upgrading the server capacity on it, so we'll wait and see. Why can't you add the NewsOn app to the Fire TV or Fire Stick? Yeah, I don't understand why NewsOn hasn't released a Fire TV app. Probably it's on Roku. NewsOn is ad supported. Roku has a very good ad system. Maybe they're trying to push people to Roku because they can make more money off the ads there. I've heard that from other people that Roku, the ad system on Roku is really good. Roku is the #1 ad provider for streaming services like that. So we'll wait and see what happens. Well, let me restart that real quick. There we go. I wish NewsOn would have a Android TV, a Roku, or they have Roku, a Fire TV, and an Apple TV app. So we'll wait and see what happens there. A little off subject, Luke, but did you watch Cobra Kai on YouTube Red? No, didn't. My time to watch stuff on TV is dramatically reduced recently. I just don't have the time I used to. Currently, I'm working my way through the Amazon Prime, Michigan, was it All or Nothing Michigan or something like that? Whatever the documentary on that is. And Silicon Valley right now. I've been watching those every week. So those are the two main shows. But between kids, work, this, it really adds up. So just haven't had time to get in a lot of stuff. There's a lot of shows I want to watch. I'll get through slowly. Excuse me. All right. Could I do a Coca-Cola ad? Well, I've lost a few pounds. I don't know if you noticed. So I'm kind of spoiling myself with a Coca-Cola on my diet right now. This has been sitting in the cupboard for a while. And it's my treat to myself. Do you have a tutorial on how to mirror Roku Ultra from an Android device? No, I don't. I actually have one for Windows. I'll see about putting one together. Let me make myself a little note on that. And I'll see about adding one there. But it's really, honestly, it's really easy. If you go into Roku and you go into the system and mirroring, it will walk you through what you need to do to have that happen. Have I seen any of the reboot of The Lost in Space? No, I've heard it's good though. I know some critics don't like it, but I'm kind of at the point where if a critic tells me something isn't good, it probably means I'm going to like it. Anybody else kind of look at what the critics say about a show now and assume the complete opposite? Am I the only person that ever says that? I don't know. It's just how I feel recently. Paul says Coke Zero for the win. I do like Coke Zero, but I still really love the taste of Coke, especially from the glass bottles. Luke, when is Hulu adding offline support? They say by the 2018-2019, so by this fall. So the 2018-2019 series. Was there any news on the Viacom-CBS merger? Last we heard, it was close to being a done deal, but CBS had basically said, we want full control of the new business. Basically, Viacom, give us all your stuff, merge with us, and have all the leadership leave. Viacom balked on that a little bit, so we'll have to wait and see what happened with it. Do you know when Xfinity will roll out free upgraded Wi-Fi speeds? No, it's market by market, and Xfinity Comcast is doing it whenever they do it. So some markets need to have physical hardware upgraded, like at the street level. Some just need some back-end changes. It really depends on where you are. So no one has the same thoughts about critics, where if they say something is bad, you typically assume it means it's a good movie or a good TV show. Am I the only one that thinks that? Maybe I'm just weird, which I'm willing to accept that I may be weird. All right. No, not just me. That's good to know. Brant, did you ever give me a follow-up, a little bit more details on your question? Let me know. I may have missed it when it went through. It looks like I'm not the only person who thinks critics are more wrong than right. Alright, if I haven't answered your question, re-ask it and I'll do my best to answer it. Luke, does one antenna work for two TVs if you have the Tableau dual tuner? Yeah. So a Tableau, if you connect it to your antenna, can stream to all the devices in your home. If you have a 2-tuner, you can watch on 2 devices at the same time. If you have the 4-tuner, you can watch on 4 devices at the same time. So keep that in mind. I'm looking for an ISP. Well, that really depends on where you live. I get this question, what's the best ISP? Well, typically you only have 2. And it really, my recommendation is do some research. Don't need the fastest speed. You don't need gigabyte speed to be an internet cord cutter. Anything over 20 is a great option for cord cutters. So shop around in your market. I can't really tell you if it's a good one for you or not. All right. Didn't ESPN state that cricket was supposed to be part of the program? Last month, no PLP cricket. There's many different cricket leagues, and I'm not sure of ESPN Plus which ones are in cricket. I kind of agree with you. I think they said it was supposed to be there, but because they're going to have cricket doesn't mean they may have had that particular package. So we'll wait and see. Any news on DirecTV Now's $15 package? No. Last we heard, it's coming in the next few weeks, so we'll wait and see. AT&T may be waiting for maybe see how the court case for the merger went. We'll wait and see. What do you think about Plex and ripping DVDs and Blu-rays to a media library? If you own the DVD and own the Blu-ray and you don't turn around and sell it, it's perfectly legal and great. The thing where you get a legal issue is where you rip a DVD and then you sell it, or you rent a DVD, rip it, and then return it. That's been a long legal thing, and that's at best a gray area. All right. Any suggestions on home security companies? There's many good ones. Of course, you got the classics like ADT. Not a big fan of Vivint. At least their salespeople were quite rude when they came to my home. Maybe that's tainting my opinion of them. SimpliSafe is actually a pretty good company. You may want to check them out. So check that out. Yes, you cannot mirror your iOS screen to a Roku, but you can cast video and images to your Roku through iOS, if I remember right. I believe through the Roku app on iOS. I don't use iOS, I use Android. But I believe it does allow you to cast photos and videos from your phone or tablet to your Roku. Any concern that AT&T will become like the cable companies with their bundling offers? It's a lot less likely. Cable companies were able to get away with a lot of what they've gotten away with because they didn't have competition. AT&T with DirecTV Now, etc., has a lot of competition. With Verizon looking to do the same thing, it's very easy with no contracts to say, see ya AT&T, DirecTV Now, I'm going to Sling, I'm going to PlayStation Vue, I'm going to YouTube TV. Competition is really the main way to answer a lot of these issues, so we'll have to wait and see. All right. If I haven't answered your question, re-ask it and I'll do my best to answer it. Was it I who reported that T-Mobile got the rights to use the 700 megabyte frequency? I did. T-Mobile bought a lot of frequency in the last auction. That was last year. The auction actually started under the previous administration, closed last year, and it started transitioning stuff last year. I want to say they did get some 700 megabit frequencies, but don't count me on that. You're asking me to remember a post from last summer. But T-Mobile did buy a ton of spectrum in that auction from TV stations. And they're actually paying TV stations to switch their frequencies faster so they can get more info. Oh, yeah, battery is dying. We'll get another 10 minutes here. Yeah, I see the battery status. Everybody's telling me. Yeah, I forgot to switch the battery before we came in. It'll make it another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap this up in 10 minutes. So when the battery dies, that's when we'll end the live Q&A today. I was busy beforehand. I don't know everybody who came in, but I got a new mount here with the new rubber bands on it, which will help prevent noise from transmitting up the microphone and then into you. So I was doing that and didn't switch the battery. I really thought I had more than enough battery to make it. So is life. Hey Luke, is watching torrent movies legal? No. Downloading torrented movies is definitely not legal, proven in court. And streaming them, it does not necessarily make it legal. Several interesting court cases relating to that underway right now. And so far, the content owners have been winning all the early judgments on that. So we'll wait for a final ruling on that. But the argument that streaming is totally different than torrenting doesn't seem to be holding up well in courts right now. What do I think of all these IPTV providers? If you're calling yourself an IPTV provider, you're probably not legal. Content companies are starting to sue them left and right. Set TV is probably the biggest one right now. They're facing a lawsuit from a ton of people. Everybody from Amazon and Netflix because they're on demand to content providers for their live TV service. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I would fully expect to see them not survive. With these IPTV ones that charge you money, it's relatively easy to track down who it is. For the ones in the United States, I actually get a lot of people email me, hey, I'm Joe Blow from Ohio or Nevada or something, and I just started a live TV streaming service, 500 channels for $20. I'm like, really? You're really emailing me, giving your phone number, your address, and everything to me, and want me to write about your service? Okay, I'm sure that info may, I'm sure if you're being this open about it, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all of them are gonna find you pretty quick. So we'll wait and see. But I think the Set TV one seems to be the one that the content owners have decided this is going to be our precedent-setting case. This is the case that are going to have, and then once we get the results of this, which probably looks like it's going to be in the content owner's favor, then we're going to turn around and sue everybody else. So we'll wait and see what happens. Hello, Mr. Dutch. Hello from another Dutch person. What in your opinions are VPNs safe? Yeah, VPNs are safe. I actually highly recommend using VPNs when you travel. I use a VPN on the road. Any public Wi-Fi, you should have a VPN in. Using VPN to get around like location lockouts with Netflix and others is not guaranteed. Netflix and other services have really cracked down on that, some harsher than others. So I wouldn't buy a VPN for that purpose. I would buy a VPN, like when I travel and I'm working, I only do that when I use a VPN. I highly recommend NordVPN. I think they're a really good VPN service. I've been very impressed with them, and their price is very competitive, and it gives good quality connections. So would recommend a VPN if you're out there. Who owns Sling TV? Well, Sling TV, for one, no legitimate streaming services calling themselves an IPTV service. Just be honest with that. Sling TV is owned by Dish. All right. I hear other people like IPVanish. That's not a bad company either. All right, everybody. About 5 minutes, because this battery isn't going to last any longer. And I gotta get my kids to bed anyways. So get your questions in now. I'll do my best to answer them. And next week I will have this. I did think, just off the record, I was toying with the idea of buying a power cord for this camera. It's a Canon T5i Rebel. But I'm actually thinking about getting a more real video camera so I don't have to deal with the resetting it halfway through the show and other things. So we got some plans out there. We're in the works to get things done. I know the battery's going to die. We're going to run the show until the battery dies. That's the current plan. So get your question in, because when the battery dies, the show is over, folks. All right. Is the price difference worth the cost of the TCL 6 series over the TCL 17P series? The 6 series is a much higher quality TV than the P series. The 6 series, just from the body, it's a brushed metal with a more sleek, modern look. So it's a much more, if you're putting it in your living room, it will look a lot better in your living room. The contrast zones, there's more of them. They have localized dimming. So if you have like a part of the TV is a bright color and another part's supposed to be in black, they'll dim out the black area to make the blacks look even brighter, and they'll brighten the part of the TV that's supposed to be a bright color to make that look even brighter. Stuff that the P series doesn't do. The P series just kind of has a equal brightness across the different areas. So there's a lot of different content out, or different things out there. With that said, the P series is a very nice TV. If you get a good deal on it, I have 2 of them. The TV I use when I stand in front of it and I do the guides or the different videos I shoot in front of the TV, that's a TCL P series. I actually bought a TCL P series for my bedroom. I really love having the Roku TV and everything built into the TV in the bedroom. I love the sleep timer, so we can start a stream, set the sleep timer, not worry about any data caps. So keep that in there. Keep that in mind. All right. Thanks, Dutchy Dutch. I'm 100% Dutch. 99-point-something% Dutch, actually. So it's good to see another Dutch person out there. So good to see you. Grandparents both came from the Netherlands. All right, last call for questions, because you got probably about 5 minutes left before that battery dies. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Tons of videos here, but also in the show notes you find a link to cordcardsnews.com. Every day we post 5, 6, 7, 8, or sometimes 10 or more stories all about the world of cord cutting. So check it out. We haven't missed a day of posting about news in years. We're from the UK. It's good to have you here. All right, everybody. Saying, will older HD antennas work the 3.0 standard? Yes, your antenna is a dumb device. Your antenna is basically, I don't have one sitting here. This will work. Your antenna is a piece of metal. When your TV antenna is out there, it's picking up all the radio waves around it. So it doesn't matter if it's FM, AM, TV, cellular. Your over-there TV antenna from 50 years ago is picking it all up. It's the tuner inside your TV is what decides. So a radio tuner will pull the radio frequencies from that. A cell phone tuner will pull the cell phone frequencies from that. And a TV tuner will pull that. So what you're going to need to upgrade is your TV tuner. The antenna doesn't matter. I've talked to many people who bought a home, went into the attic and found a big old antenna from the 50s or so. And they plugged the antenna in and it still works. Yeah, because it's a dumb piece of metal. It doesn't care. Yeah, antennas today, there are a lot of improvements in the quality of antennas today. The way they work, older ones still work fine, but no, antennas today will work with 3.0. They'll work with 4.0 when that comes out someday. It's the tuner that receives that signal and turns it into an image on your TV is what's going to need to be updated. What's the easiest streaming device for my parents to learn? A lot. I got my parents a Roku. Those quick blinds on the remote is really nice. Are you thinking about getting them a live TV streaming service? If you plan to get a service like Sling TV, the Air TV is really nice because it takes your antenna, your Sling TV, and your Netflix and puts it all in one user interface. So you turn on your Air TV device and it's all right there. And it makes your over-the-air TV look just like your antenna. You can plug in a hard drive to it, make it a DVR for your over-the-air antenna, plus a DVR for your, ESPN, CNN, etc. So those are my two options. A Roku. To be honest, that Roku remote, a lot of people are like, oh, Roku it's so simple looking. Yeah, it's simple. My daughter, that's 5, can do it. My parents can use it. So I would say those are my two recommendations. The Air TV or Roku. Cost and size, are any difference between internet services? Fios and Comcast, for example. Depends on streaming speeds. One's offering fiber, that'll probably be a better reception than one that's not. But yeah, so my recommendation is switch back and forth. Get Fios for a couple years. When they start raising your rates and not giving you discounts you want, switch to Comcast. Every year or two, I swap services, and that's how I'm only paying $30 for 100 down right now. So, all right, hey everybody. I don't think this battery's going to last much longer, so we're going to wrap this show up. Thank you everybody who joined us. Join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Follow us at Core Cars News. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody who donates, everybody who watches these without an ad blocker. Hugely helpful. I am going to play an ad here in a second, which helps us pay the bills. Don't forget, we have an app on Android and iOS. We're posting multiple stories a day. If you're only following us here on YouTube, you're missing out on all kinds of great cord cutting news. So check that out. And we'll have a lot of news coming up in the next few days. So keep an eye on it. All right, everybody. Take care. See you next week, Wednesday. Check out this ad. Also, for everybody who's not seeing this ad, don't forget, July 21st in Dallas, we're looking at having a meetup. So I'd love to hear if you can make it or not. Thank you everybody for your support. Once this ad stops, we'll call it a day. But we're going to keep working hard to give you the best cord cutting news coverage possible, helping you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Let's keep letting everybody know about the world of cord cutting. So I'll see you all next week. Take care. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.